Alright, what's going on guys? It's Ike914 here, and today I'm gonna bring you a more informational video rather than gameplay. I might put out some gameplay later on today, but what I'm really gonna be talking about is, like, if you're new to the game, what you should do whenever you first start. And as you can see here, this is like the title screen, and whenever you first get it, you're gonna want to go to the Ubisoft Club right here. And you can like accept a bunch of rewards, and once you do a few challenges, like after you play about 5 casual games, you'll get like a lot of Ubisoft. I think it's like a Ubisoft currency. I'm not sure what it's called, but you can buy a bunch of like little camos and stuff. And then there's a free booster, which this booster, it gives you a 24-hour booster that gives you 2 times renown for each game. So say I go into casual, and usually you'll get about 300 renown per casual if you win. If you have this booster activated, then you will get 600 renown, which obviously is a lot better than 300. So that's a useful little thing you can do there to get a little bit more renown. And if you didn't know about this, like some higher level players don't even know about this tutorials thing right here. Whenever you go to it, each one of these, if you watch them, you'll get 200 for each of them. So, and whenever you start it, see, it's just a barricades thing, but at the bottom right, as you can see, it says press circle to skip. And it says, are you sure you want to skip the cinematic? And press OK. That's what I did, and it gave me 200 renown for each one of these videos. So that's, as soon as you start the game, you literally get free 600 renown. And then also in this Ubisoft Club right here, you can buy about 200 renown with the Ubisoft currency. So as soon as you start the game, you can have 800 renown, which is one original operator, and then you can buy attachments for it too. So that's just a few tips as soon as you start the game, just to get one good operator. Now, I'm going to be talking about good operators for whenever you first start the game. And I'm going to go through each operator and what they do. So Sledge here. Obviously he has a lot of people like to use this character. He's a very popular character. He has a sledgehammer that can break through anything wooden, but it cannot break through reinforced walls. So the metal walls that you put up at the preparation round, he cannot break through that, but anything wooden like hatches, walls that are unreinforced, barricades, and like a few objects that you might want to break down, and he can do that. And he can also kill people with it. I mean, I don't know why you would want to. You can just knife people, but it's usually a kind of, what's the word, disrespectful, I guess. Like if you want to disrespect the enemy team and they're like downed in the objective, you can just hit them with the hammer, and that's a hammer kill, and it's pretty cool. Thatcher, he's very useful if you have a thermite or Hibana on your team. I'll tell you what they do later in a second. But Thatcher, if they have a bandit, he breaks like any electronics. He doesn't break it. He like what's the word? Disables them. He disables any electronics that are in the area of the EMP grenade. Ash, she's similar to Sledge, how Sledge can break through any wooden barricades or anything like that. Only she can fire a breaching round from far away. So anything wooden she can break down from far. Thermite. He's a very useful team player also. He puts a sort of breaching charge like that you can just get as in one of your grenade slots, but it can break through the reinforced walls, which is incredibly useful. His gun is alright, like it's not the best gun, but I mean, guns don't really matter. As long as you get the one-shot headshots, it really doesn't matter what kind of gun you have. It just depends if you're good with the recoil or not. Twitch, she's a very popular used person, operator. She has a drone, as you can see in the bottom right. It can break cameras so that whenever you're like going through raiding the area, you can break the camera so that your teammates don't really have to worry about it. You can also, as I said with Thatcher, you can break other electronics that Thatcher can. So while you're in the preparation round, you can use this drone and instead of doing it during the round, you can just go ahead and break everything and not have to worry about it, so that Thermite can just run up to the wall and get it done faster. Montagne. Montagne, if you use him, don't really expect to get too many kills. Like, obviously you can. Anybody can get kills in this game. His pistol is very good. It does, I think, it depends on which one you use. I don't use this one. It only does 30 damage, but it has 16 rounds in each mag, which is alright. Like, damage-wise, that's horrible. That's very bad. But with this one, it does 77 damage and has 6 bullets. But as you can see in the bottom right, there's a lot of recoil, so you kind of have to take your time shooting. You can't just spam it unless you're like pretty close. But it'll generally take about 2 shots to kill them, while this will take about 4 to 5. So that's a third of the clip to kill, and then this is also a third. So, I mean, it really just comes down to which kills faster, and it's obviously going to be the one that does more damage, the LFP, the Magnum, pretty much. So I would definitely say this would be better. What he does, his ability, he can, if you get into a corner and you're in the corner like with a reinforced wall behind you and it's not like wooden, you cannot be shot. You cannot be blown up. The explosive will do a little bit of damage, like the impact grenades. They'll do about like at most 10 damage to you if you have your full shield up. Nitro cells do about 25, I believe. So he's a pretty useful operator. Moving on to Glaz. Glaz is probably, like, a lot of people are calling him the most overpowered character in the game just because there's no one to, what's the word, like, he has an advantage over everyone. No one is good against him. It just matters if you have good enough accuracy with Glaz. Glaz is a sniper. He has a thermal scope and can also have smoke grenades. So what this does is you can literally stand in the smoke and the enemy team cannot see you, but you can see them because he has a thermal scope, so they will literally be orange right in front of you. So it's like pretty easy. It's easy to kill them, but since they can't see you, it's pretty difficult for them to kill you. He is probably like the top 5 most used operators in the game at this point. He is supposed to get some nerfs to him. Nerfs meaning like he will be debuffed, like he won't be as good once they nerf him. So you might as well just go ahead and unlock him while he has this thermal ability. I think he will keep it, but they're just going to take the smoke grenades off, so that'll be pretty interesting. Fuse. Fuse is, I've said in my past video, my least favorite operator in the whole game. Literally, the whole game. I hate him. He's stupid. What he does is he puts a charge type of thing, like, you know how you can put breaching charges on walls? Well, he puts a little circular cluster charge is what they're called, and whenever you activate it with like, I don't know what they're called actually, but you activate it with like a little button type deal, and then it'll shoot grenades pretty much into the room, and it's 5 grenades. So he gets you a lot of kills. I used him a lot whenever I was a lower level. So if you're a low level, then I would definitely say using Fuse would be your best bet for kills and getting a higher level. Blitz. Blitz, he has a shield. You cannot change a shield out for an assault rifle or anything like that. His ability is like, it's having a flash grenade, but you don't throw it. You just use it right in front of them, and it'll blind them so they can't see, and then you can just gun them down with your pistol. IQ. IQ probably is like one of the characters that aren't used as much as the others. She's a very fast character. She doesn't have very much armor. As you can see, she has a choice of 3 automatic rifles. They're all assault rifles, besides this one, which is a light machine gun. But I mean, it only has 50 rounds in it, so I wouldn't really call it necessarily call it a light machine gun. But it has a lot of it has a good bit of recoil. It shoots pretty fast. It's the fastest of the three, but it also does the least amount of damage of the three. 31 damage, which is one more damage. I have the suppressor on, so I mean, it doesn't do 31 damage. But I like to use suppressors on like generally all my guns, just because it does, like, I feel like it brings down the recoil. Buck has to be like the very useful if you know how to use him. He has a shotgun under his barrel. It takes about 2 shots, depending on what range you are, to kill a person, and it can break through barricades, wooden walls. So it's like having Sledge, but only his ability is from range, and it can kill. As I said, you can kill people with Sledge, but it's point in killing them with a sledgehammer if you can just knife them, you know? Hibana. Hibana is very similar to Thermite. She breaks through reinforced walls, but from a distance. So it's like Ash to Sledge. Ash can blow stuff like wooden walls up from a distance, but Hibana can blow reinforced walls up from a distance. She has 3 of these abilities. Thermite has 2 of his abilities, obviously. She is one of those operators that I would definitely recommend. She has full speed and no armor, but she obviously takes as much damage to kill as most other operators. She has, her weapon is very good. Like, it doesn't do much damage, but it shoots very fast, and it doesn't have very much recoil. So, and also a very like unique thing about her, I know the SAS have this ability. The SAS being Sledge, Mute, Smoke, and Thatcher. Some of them, they can't have their automatic pistol. But Hibana, she has a fully automatic kind of mini Uzi type deal, and it shoots very, very fast, but it doesn't do much damage. It's very useful. I would definitely recommend Hibana. But she is one of these characters that costs 25,000. Buck, Hibana, Jackal, and then I still don't have Blackbeard and Capiteo unlocked as attackers. They are attackers that do that cost 25,000 right now. Now moving on to defenders. Smoke. Smoke has a like toxic grenade. I don't know if you guys ever played Black Ops 1. There's a tactical grenade. No, not a tactical. A grenade type of projectile that you could throw, and it would explode, and it like did damage over time. And this is what Smoke does, literally exactly like that. Just a smoke grenade, only you can activate it whenever you want. So you can have a trap whenever you like can hear them nearby or something like that. You can just activate it. So he's very, very, very useful if they have a Montagne, because whenever Montagne gets in that corner, you literally cannot shoot him at all. So if you have a smoke on your team, you just throw the smoke at Montagne while he's in the corner, and he's stuck in the corner, or he will be shot, obviously. Mute. Mute is a very useful character, I would say. He can put charges to block out the drones, obviously. But also, most people don't like to do this, but I mean, I don't know why. Mute, he can put his devices on reinforced walls, and whenever you do this, the reinforced walls can be blown up by Thermite or Hibana. But if they have a Thatcher, then the Mute devices can be destroyed by Thatcher or Twitch. Castle. Castle is, I would not recommend Castle. Like, I hate Castle with a passion. If you know how to use him, then go right ahead. Use Castle. He can be very useful if you know how to use him. But whenever you just put all your panels, your armored panels, what they do is it takes 11 or 12 hits to destroy the barricade. So it's like a wooden barricade wall, only it takes 11 hits. It can be blown up by a grenade and a breaching charge, but Buck cannot destroy it with his shotgun under barrel. Sledge can destroy it in one hit with his sledgehammer. Ash can destroy it with her ability. So, I mean, he's useful to slow them down, which is, if you have a castle and a smoke, they are pretty useful together because you can just slow them down with these two operators. And if it's the last 30 seconds, they will not be able to get inside the objective if you have a smoke and a castle. Pulse. Pulse is definitely one of the more used operators in the game for a defense because he has full speed. His ability, he pulls up like a kind of monitor. Whenever you see it at a hospital, it's like a cardiac monitor. And what it does, it'll have a circle where the enemies are. And it has about a range of, I'd say, like 20 feet or so. And it can see pretty far. He's very useful. He can see them through walls and stuff like that. Doc. Doc, I would say, will have to stay in the objective most of the time. He heals his teammates or himself. Very useful for your team, but I would say use the MP5 just because his MP5 can have a ACOG on it. So can the P90, but the MP5 doesn't have as much recoil. Rook. Rook is the same as Doc. He has the MP5, P90, and also a shotgun. I would definitely recommend the MP5. A lot of people choose the P90 also, but I mean, it just depends on how you want to be playing. Rook is very useful for his team because you can take more damage to the chest area, and because he has this armor pack that your teammates pick up from. So he's just more of a team player. He's very slow though, so you'll have to stay in the objective with him. Kapkan, I mentioned him in my past video. I said he was very annoying because I like to rush a lot, and I do get blown up by these a lot. But what he does is whenever you put these devices on windows and things like that, it'll have a tripwire on it, and it's pretty easy to see, but if they're just running in without paying attention to the doorways and stuff, it's very easy to kill people with it. Tachanka. Tachanka is the most useless operator in the whole game. He has a LMG that you can just put up. It has a lot of recoil, a lot of recoil. So, I mean, you can get kills with it. It does a lot of damage actually, and it has a shield in front of it. So what you can do is, whenever you use it, you have a glass shield in front of you, sort of like Blackbeard, which I'll talk about later. And it'll take a lot of bullets, a lot more than Blackbeard can with his shield. And then you can put a metal deployable shield right in front of you also. That'll take a lot of bullets to kill this Tachanka if he's on his LMG, but he has a lot of recoil on his LMG also. Jaeger. I would definitely recommend Jaeger as your defensive operator. He is the only defensive operator that has a assault rifle. All the rest have submachine guns or shotguns. He is very good for spawn peeking. He can use an ACOG on his assault rifle, and his ability, not only is his gun very good, but his ability is very useful against Fuse. He puts down a ADS is what it's called, a active defense, and I'm not sure what the S stands for awkwardly, but oh, it stands for system, my bad. But what it does is, if they try to throw a stun, a smoke grenade, if Fuse tries to fuse the room, and a normal grenade, what it does, it'll destroy the grenade so that it won't do anything to your teammates. It'll just get destroyed in midair, and nothing will happen to you. You won't get stunned or blown up or anything. But the only sad part about it is, if they do have a Fuse has 5 charges, like 5 grenades in each charge that he has, and Jaeger can only destroy 3 grenades with his ADSs, I believe is what it is. So very, like, it's useful to have, but it's not that useful against Fuse. So you have to put 2 of them right next to each other to destroy a whole Fuse cluster charge. Bandit. Bandit's very good. He has a very nice submachine gun, the MP7. But what he does is he can put his shock wires in barbed wire, which will do a little bit of damage to them. I mean, it's just more annoying than anything. But the more important thing that he can do is he puts his shock wires on reinforced walls so that whenever Thermite or Hibana try to do anything to the wall, it'll just get destroyed. So that with mute, if you have a mute on the reinforced wall, they can just take their exothermic charge or their X Kairos. Or no, I'm sorry. Hibana can't take her X Kairos because she shoots them, but Thermite can take his thermite charge off the wall just because it's mute. But what Bandit does, Bandit makes it to where he cannot take his thermite charge off the wall because it instantly destroys it as soon as he puts it on the wall. Frost. Frost is definitely useful if you have a Caveira on your team also, because whenever they get stuck in this bear trap, it will injure them rather than killing them all the way like a Kapkan trap would. If you have a Caveira on your team, then you can get the Caveira to come up to you and interrogate that victim, which is very useful for you. Some Frost are very greedy with their kills, but I mean, I like to just let the Caveira get the interrogation so that we can win the whole game. Valkyrie. Valkyrie is a very subject team player. I would say that her cameras, like, she can throw them anywhere in the whole map, and she's very useful. But if you have some newbie teammates, then they will scan the enemy over and over again, and your camera will eventually get blown up or destroyed because of your teammates scanning. Caveira. Caveira is like the most used operator that's expensive for like casual and ranked. Like MLG, not many people use her, I don't believe, but she is very, very useful. Alright, I do believe what Caveira does is her pistol does like 99 damage. Insane. But it doesn't kill all the way because whenever you down someone, you can choose to interrogate them, or you can always just kill them all the way, but you can interrogate them, which will show where their whole team is, and it'll show them for about, I'd say, 10 seconds or so. So she's very good. I did not talk about Jackal. I personally do not like Jackal. I had to spend a lot of money on him, but his gun is very good. It doesn't have too much recoil, as I said in a past video, but what he does is he has a piece of electronic on his helmet, and whenever you activate it, your whole screen turns a kind of bluish color, and but you can see footsteps on the ground, so you can scan the footsteps and it'll have a red marker on where they are. Not like the usual drone marker, but like a more distinct marker. You'll know what it is whenever you see it. But it'll show them 4 times where they are, so they kind of have to keep on moving constantly. Now moving on to the operators that I do not have. I do know these operators, like what they do and everything, even though I don't have them. Blackbeard. Blackbeard has a semi-automatic and a fully automatic weapon. He can put a glass shield on front of his on his gun so that he cannot get headshotted as easy. The shield can break after I'd say 3 or 4 shots. So I mean, he's useful for peeking windows, but I mean, if he's getting a shot in the body, there's no point in the shield. He is a very useful character, though. Capiteo. I hear a lot of different things about Capiteo. I would say he's useful in certain situations. His gun is pretty good. His pistol does not do as much damage as Caveira's does, and it does not down them automatically. But his ability. His ability is a tactical crossbow, and it shoots a fire arrow. So if they're like in a corner behind a deployable shield just laying there, if you have Capiteo, you can just shoot the fire arrow in the corner, and it'll kill them in about 3 seconds at most. Moving on to Echo. Echo. He has a drone that can like hover on the ground, and then it goes on the roof, and whenever you put it on the roof, what it does is you can like shoot I'm not sure what you would say. It's like kind of a sound wave looking thing, but what it does is it's like you make them drunk, and they can't, like, whenever they start running around a lot, it makes their whole screen shake a lot. So it like disorientates them. So, but whenever you're with Echo, all you're gonna be really doing is staying on your drone the whole time. Sounds kind of boring, that's why I haven't unlocked him. But for all you team players out there, he would be pretty useful for you. Also, if they have a Montane and you hit Montane with it, his extendable shield automatically goes down, so he has to reactivate it. So if he's like in a corner and you can't shoot him, Echo can echo him, and his shield will go down so that the teammates can shoot him. Mira. Mira is very useful. She puts a black mirror on the wall so that you can see through it, but they cannot see you. You can also break the mirror so that you can shoot at them. It takes about 3 seconds to shoot back at them once you hit the red extinguisher on the mirror though. Her gun shoots very, very fast, and she has 2 of the mirrors. Blackbeard, I'm gonna go through and tell you how many special abilities they have. Like Blackbeard has 2 shields. Capiteo has 2 fire arrows and then 2 smoke grenade arrows. Echo has an infinite amount of the, like, he only has 1 drone, but he can shoot them in an infinite amount, but he does have to reload it every once in a while. Mira has 2 of her mirrors. Sledge can hit any wall that's wooden 25 times. Thatcher has 3 EMP grenades. Ash has 2 breaching grounds. Thermite has 2 exothermic charges. Switch has 2 drones. Montaigne, he can do it an infinite amount of times. Glaz, he just has his scope. Fuse has 3 cluster charges. Blitz can flash the enemy 5 times. IQ has an infinite amount. She has a electronics detector. I don't know if I said that or not. Buck, he has ammo in his shotgun. He has like 20 bullets, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually is a lot. Habana can shoot her X-Kairos 3 times. Jackal can scan footsteps, I think, 3 or 4 times. Smoke has 3 smoke grenades. Mute has 4 mute devices. Castle has 3 armor panels. Pulse has an infinite amount. Doc has 3 stim pistol shots. Rook has 5 armored plates, 1 for each of your teammates. Capcan has 3 entry denial devices, the tripwire booby traps. Tachanka has his LMG. Kavera, her special ability is silent steps. She can't be heard. So she has an infinite amount of that, but it does have to recharge every once in a while. Valkyrie has 3 cameras. Frost has 3 traps that she can put down. Bandit has 4 shock wires that he can also put down. And Jaeger has 3 Jaeger devices that he can also put down. Leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment if this helped you at all. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I might do gameplay, as I said, I believe, later on today, if you guys want to see that. And thanks for watching. It's been Ike. See you later.